but it should be okay. Carl, this is the same slate that you played your last match on against. I think you might have even played against Seb on it, but certainly the one that you played Lee Anderson on. It's just been moved down. This is the bar area table. You just swap the tops over. I think probably because they've reclothed about 4 this week, four other tables, and I think the stream table, the normal stream table upstairs, is one of those that have been redone. Good morning, Dwayne. You should be in this, buddy. Certainly a local comp as well. We don't get too many of them in Blackpool. Well, we haven't had over the last year or so. This is the Northern Tour. It does say, I think, oh, it should do. I won't put it on before I disappear. Excuse me, sorry about that. Forgetting capturing the scoreboard. But yeah, I'll take that off actually while I'm just doing this. Oh, he's stretching there, Danny, and just cut that red. That should have been a pretty simple finish for him. So yeah, as I say, I'm just going to nip upstairs in the main room just to make sure everything's okay, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Cheers, Jamie. It's not me, unless I make a spelling mistake somewhere. Sprouts Lounge. Easily rectified. So, 1-1. Those of you that have been near the stream table, when you realise how much space I've got around here and how much light I've got, or not got, should I say, and you'll know it's easily done, especially when you're half blind as well. So there's a couple of decent matchups in this first round, and this is one of them. Both these two players would be well fancied for the whole event anyway. A couple more that I could pick out. Is Phil Watts Lee Clough, that's coming up later in the next session. We've got Charlie McDonough playing today. She's decided to have a bash. Stephen Ramsden, Sanjay Patel. Currently playing at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get some scores. I'm going to have a sweep round the table, just get some scores. Good morning, Carl. Shame you couldn't make it today. Very fuzzy. Cheers, Scotland. I'm going to listen to this. Yeah, it's just the because I've got the microphones on really, really loud. Just let me know if that's any better. Should have gone down slightly. Yes, I wondered when that would come up. We'll have a chat about Poolgate a little bit later, I think. Just to say though that I'm never usually a bad judge on people, and the fact that I was probably one of the first people to block him. It's around probably about 18 months ago now. Tells its own story, I think. And as for Max, well, that's one of the problems with Supreme tables, their middle pockets. You know, that was right in the centre, and it's cruel. I mean, there is some new tables out there on the market, Blackball tables. Let's hope. I have spoken to Ross, and he has said that problem has been addressed, so let's hope that it has. It's same for both players, you know, but it doesn't happen as often as you would think. Popping out the middles, you can hit the same ball into the middle pockets time after time, and it might pop out once in 10, 20, 100 or whatever, you know what I mean, but it's cruel when it does happen. But that's been a problem with Supreme tables ever since they first came out, and I would have thought over the years that it's alright making a table like this and them becoming as popular as what they did do, but if you're not going to address the problems as and when they arise, then there's no point really. You would have thought over the years they would have done something or tried to do something to alleviate the pop-outs in the middles and the corners as well. I think a lot of it is just down to the hardness of the rubber at the back of the pocket and the rails, the channels underneath. And the way the rubber's cut as well, if it was cut a little bit higher, and that's nice, it's unlucky though. Just to direct the ball downwards a little bit more, maybe that might alleviate it, I don't know, but it's just one of those things that happens with Supremes. So that fuzzy should have gone now. It's just the fact that I had the mic gain on pretty loud, that's all. So Danny Thomson looking to take a 2-1 lead. See what it is, a little bit fortunate I must say. But anyway, I'm going to go and get some scores in from the other tables and just update SKU score. It's currently 2-1 to Danny. So, back, just done a quick roundup of the scores. Currently, Phil Briley is 3-0 up against Jimmy Johnson. Stephen Ramsden is 5-0 down against Sanjay Patel. Flying is Sanjay this morning. Nigel Medlicott and Sean Ryan. That's going to be a long one. 1-1 at the moment. Half and Dad is 3-1 up against Nick Powell. And Lee Musgrave is 2-1 up against John Barton. And so is Brett Noble. He's 2-1 up against Glenn Crook. Yeah, and I do agree with Michael Holding. At the end of the day, it's easy to say, you know, to forgive somebody for doing something like that, but what you've got to understand is you're actually doing it with other people's money, and to me it's not forgivable. It's actually, you're involved in a sport, you know, that's people like me are trying to grow, you know, with, is okay, trying to grow it with promoting it via streams and running comps, and you've got, and I will say it because you know what I'm like, you've got idiots like these that you know, just treat it with contempt, treat the sport as though it means nothing. You know, and these lads have been making a lot of money out of the game over the last 12 months, 18 months, 2 years or whatever. They've been making a hell of a lot of money, and they can say they haven't, but they have. Even, you know, well, actually, Seb, you know, he takes a percentage. Most players do take a percentage, so they have been making a few quid. And to treat it with contempt like they have done is unforgivable. Just keep, you know, everybody that's involved in promoting the game, you know, moves the game forward 2 or 3 steps, and people like these move it back again about another 5 steps. And it's, to me, they don't deserve to be playing in pool. I've already banned players that have done stuff within the pool world from entering any comps that I run, and I'm talking likes of your Calcutta robber in a way, Mr. Keith Brewer. I don't really like mentioning his name anymore. You know, a massive stalwart for the game over the last 20-30 years, and then he goes and does something like he does, and it's all right, you know. People of you know, forgiving nature, saying, well, we should forgive them, but they're damaging the game that they've earned a lot of money out of over, you know, quite a few years. So I've no sympathy at all. I really wouldn't lose any sleep if none of them played pool ever again. And even though he's come out and he's held his hand up, and you know, and he's still trying to portion the blame to other people, you know, at the end of the day. And the minute somebody turns around to you and says, you know, you're going to win this anyway, just make sure you do, just in case, because they're saying that just in case that they've got a deal going against them, you know what I mean, to make sure they're not going to throw the game as well. You know, the minute somebody says something to you like that, you should be coming out and saying something. Something should be said. The game should be called off. It should never happen. And as was said before, it's not the first time for Mr. Nosko. We all make mistakes, Scott, but thieving from somebody is it's not a mistake. It's a conscious decision that you make. You know, we can all be involved in stuff that maybe you don't realise what the implications are at the time, but to actually make a conscious decision to steal off people, and not only just people, but some of them friends as well. So to make that conscious decision, then you have to suffer the consequences, in my book. And but no doubt the pool world will forgive and forget, and they'll be back playing again in no time, because you know, in certain quarters that's how fickle some people are and can be. Well, we'll see. But hopefully the Savannah Elite Series will go ahead. That has been put back only because I've been so busy promoting other stuff and doing other stuff over the last month or so. But it will go ahead, and players like them will never ever be allowed in any competition like that. Just don't need them. And not only that, I was supposed to be streaming the Masters at Savannah's, the 3 series events, and JJ wanted a Calcutta, and because of a certain player being in the competition, the Calcutta just wasn't an option. And because of that, obviously, JJ's got to think about his profit margins and stuff. He can't afford to pay for the streams all the time. That was going to come out of the Calcutta. So it affects other people. Maybe they did, and you're probably right there as well, Scott. I really do think that the pressure was put on him, but is to a lot of people. I mean, to me, it's just another, I don't know, gobshite, if you will, on social media that likes to earn money by disrespecting others. That's my thoughts of him, and that's why he was banned a long time ago. And he probably was put under a lot of pressure by others, but you have that option to say no, and that's all you need to do. Say no. I'm playing this game because I love it. I ain't gonna spoil it for anybody else, let alone himself. And that's all there is to it, really. The minute you start going corrupt, you look at people like Quentin Hahn and Stephen Lee. Stephen Lee made a mistake. So have a couple of others. They've got short bans. Stephen Lee's got you might as well say it's a lifetime ban, because by the time his ban's up, he won't be able to compete at the top level, and that's a nice little finish there from Rob. So people like that in snooker have been punished really severely, but yet because there's that many different governing bodies within pool, and it's not all governed by one independent body, you can't really do that the same, and these players get away with it, and it's not nice. And there has been other matches that I've suspected. I was talking to, I'm not going to mention names, but I was talking to a referee about 18 months ago now about a particular match down south that, and again I won't mention names of who was playing, but it was a money match played on a Saturday night, and another one was rearranged by one of the players the following day, and the player that played on the Saturday that rearranged this second money match on the Saturday night for the Sunday had sent his cue home. He was getting absolutely K-lined, but arranged a money match the following day. Now, if that's not suspicious, I don't know what is, but that's just a for instance. I'm not saying it was anything untoward, but it just raises questions. And there's quite a few that go off like that, so it just spoils it for everybody. And I get that. I'm not going to read it, obviously, Michael, but I know who does that page, and I personally think they are. I think there's far too many of them. I earn a bit of money out of money matches and streaming them and what have you. Not so much these days, because I try and steer away from money match games, certain venues. But there's far too many of them, and you're always going to have doubts when two friends are playing each other as well. I just had this same conversation about 20 minutes ago with somebody upstairs. A long time, money matches, you only used to see them when two people didn't like each other. And that's not the case anymore. Yeah, you still get them, but I would say 70% of money matches are people that know each other, that like each other. And that can't be a good thing, surely. And they are two great players, and it's a shame. Max Nosko is an absolutely awesome player. For those of you that don't know him, he's absolutely awesome. And Could have made a good living out of playing competitions only. Didn't need to on the money match scene. And certainly didn't need to do what he did, but, you know, and this has all come from the match that he played previously, and the money that he owed, and that's what can happen, you know. And I've no doubt that pressure was put on Max as well, because of, you know, what he owed out from previous, but anyway, it's what happens. So, it's all part and parcel of gambling, I suppose, which is something I very rarely do. Rob, yeah, I don't know if he was meaning them before. He obviously was, Kian, but Rob is a very, very good player. I streamed him about 3 years ago now, maybe coming up to about 3 years ago against Craig Day at Henry's in Preston. I think Rob had just won the Preston Masters, and for those of you that don't know the Preston Masters, it's a very, very hard competition to win. There's some quality players in depth as well in Preston and surrounding areas. Quality players. Well, you say that, Neil, but I did a sweep on the tables not long ago, and Phil Brown was 3-0 up against Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy's no slouch. Jimmy can play the game. Phil's 3-0 up. Rob was a little bit unlucky in I think it was the third frame. He was on a finish, and he's played a pot into the middle, into the right middle, and the yellow ball popped back out again. He was right in the centre of the pocket as well. And Danny ended up, not from that particular foul, well, it wasn't a foul, but not from that particular shot, but Danny ended up winning the frame. So when Rob was looking all set to take a 2-1 lead, so it could have been a lot different. Just gonna tap too far with that. Not too sure if it doubles. What? He's cutting it into the bottom left, bottom right. Sorry. Just gotta watch the white and what it cannons into. He's okay though. So that's back to within 1. 4-3. So yeah, as far as the shenanigans in the pool world is concerned, I think we'll just have to see what transpires over the next month or two. But I personally think we could well see the end of Max Nosko, certainly on the money match scene. And as far as George goes, I'm not too sure really. I mean, he has a lot of followers. Why I don't know, but he had a lot of followers. So you could possibly see him making a comeback. I don't know. So Danny looking to go red here. So the long one to the top right is the only shot really he's got on. If he nails this, he's got a chance here. He's pulled it. Still a bit of work to do here for Rob. So I'm going to try and set another camera up. And I'll be on in the next session anyway, so I think Dean might come and do a little bit on commentary. I think you're right, Scott. You know, money is the root of all evil, as they say, and if he was to find himself in the position where somebody offered him a money match in future, You know, and bearing in mind as well, if he did, I would say he'd be a bit vulnerable as well, because he'd always have that at the back of his mind. What will people be thinking? And there'll always be somebody out there wanting to take advantage. So, as we can see, 5-3 to Danny. Phil Briley was 3-0 up, he's now 5-3 down against Jimmy Johnston. So I think Neil Kershaw, well, I was going to say right, Rob's coming back a bit, so I don't think there's a taxi waiting for Rob just yet. Stephen Ramsden is 5-0 down against Sanjay Patel. Nigel Medlicott is now 4-1 up against Sean Ryan. Arth and Dad's just gone through for 7-1 against Nick Powell. Dean Donahue is trailing 4-3 to Stephen Croft. And Lee Musgrave and John Barton are locked at 4-4. Brett Noble was 2-1 up against Glenn Crook, he's now 5-2 down. So they're the scores so far. Carl Healy and Craig Crossley just about to start their match. Carl from Morecambe Way, aimed to get on this tour, he was halfway through last season, and he's finally made it. I think there's a couple of Morecambe lads actually, I'm not too sure exactly which ones they are again now, but I'm sure there's a couple of Morecambe lads that's joined us this year, 1 or 2 more local Blackpool boys as well, which is pleasing to see. Oh, it's not a bad shot from Danny. He'd have liked that even without having to have another shot. It's okay. So Arthur now play Ethan Lees in the next round. Ethan had a bye into the next round, into the last 32. Not too sure if he's tuned in, but some best wishes to Del Redmond. Should have been playing this morning, but he's not too well again at the moment, so hope you're well soon, buddy. So just this last yellow and the black to put Danny on the hill. It's played well as Danny so far. Once this match has finished, there will be a short break on the stream. I will turn it off, and you'll get a notification when we come back live again for the next match. We could possibly have, I think it's going to be a local crunch match. 2 good buddies, Phil Watts and Lee Clough, It could well be the ones on stream next time round. There'll be a lot of respect in that game from both players. That is the standout game of the next session. So, 6-all, who'd have thought it? Just run through a few scores for you. Jimmy Johnson ended up coming through 7 frames to 3. Phil was 3-0 up in that match. Lost 7 on the trot. Stephen Ramsden managed to pull a frame back towards the end, but Sanjay ran away with that one as well. 7 frames to 1. Sanjay Patel through. Nigel Medlicott has taken control of his match against Sean Ryan. Was 1-all. It's now 4-1 to Nigel. Half and Dad had a pretty easy route to the next round. 7-1 against Nick Powell. Dean Donahue lost 4-7 to Stephen Croft. Lee Musgrave and John Barton. That was 7-6 final frame decider to John Barton. Currently in the match against Brett Noble. That was on first session as well against Glyn Crook. It's 5-2, or it was, to Glyn Crook. Last time I looked, about 10 minutes ago. And we've got games on at the moment between Carl Hooley, Craig Crossley, David Priestley, Mark Gray, Gary Southern, Michael Wolfenden, Rob Shepherd, Andy Stock, Adam Sykes and Stephen Hubbard. They're all playing as well at the moment. And as soon as we get a winner in this frame, I will restart it, but we will have Phil Watts against Lee Clough. Two very good buddies, both from Blackpool, both very good players. And I think they're both about the same height as well. So, both very evenly matched. I would probably say Phil's a little bit more attacking than what Lee is. But nevertheless, it's going to be a really hard-fought match for sure. And it's Danny Thomson that comes through that match. 7 frames to 6, and I think maybe that pop out in that middle pocket. Yeah, maybe that pop out in the middle pocket. Well, could well have cost Rob in the end there. I know it was early on in the match, but he was looking good for that frame. So 7-6 it was. I'll update the score. To Danny Thomson. Like I say, I'm going to restart the stream now anyway, so you'll get a notification. It's going to be Lee Clough versus Phil Watts. We'll be back in about 5 minutes' time.